Droners, welcome to this New Year's edition of Droner News. No, it's not quite New Year's yet, but it will be in a couple days. Welcome to 2017 and welcome to this edition of Droner News. Let's get into it. So coming in at number 1 is designing your own drones. And this is in a very literal sense. A group from MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory pretty much created an entire program to deal with the problem they were having. They were having a difficulty like having drones carry like oddly shaped packages and payloads. And they wanted to have drones that could do that. And so instead of just saying, okay, let's make this one drone, they're like, well, why don't we create a system that can create drones for whatever needs we want? And they did. Pretty much the user can create, like they can pick whatever they want the drone to do, like whether it be a 5-rotor drone, a 4-rotor drone or whatever, and pretty much do like in program saying, would this drone work? And if it does, then you can pretty much just 3D print it. They don't have any plans of like selling this kind of stuff or doing whatever they like or making money off of it, but they are making it open source so other people can. Good looking, MIT. All right, coming in number 2 is Parrot Drones helping sequoias. There's a guy who is a scientist named Todd Dawson who studies sequoia trees, and the way that he studies them traditionally is literally climbing a sequoia. And if you don't know much about sequoias, sequoias are super tall trees. These are the tallest trees, I think, in the northern United States. Don't quote me on that. But either way, they are really, really tall, like hundreds of feet tall. And this guy was climbing them, and he'd be like, okay, every day I can get one tree. And Parrot was like, well, you could just use our drone that has infrared capabilities and get even more data than you were getting by climbing the tree. And he's just like, oh, cool, I can get one in a couple minutes. All right, we out here. So that's what's happening now, is he's using them, and it's really helping out his research. But the problem is that he's starting to learn more about things regarding the drought, because pretty much they're dying. There's a huge drought in California right now. And now instead of learning about all the lives of these trees, he's kind of learning about the death of them. So thank you, climate change. Thank you, global warming. But either way, thank you, Parrots, for being awesome and helping people being drones again. Coming in at number 3, Wind Horse Aerospace, a UK tech company, is pretty much designing a drone that is called a Pouncer. What this thing does is that it delivers food to places that don't have the food that they need. And it's a fixed-wing drone, and it can carry like 100 pounds of food, and it's about 9 feet long. And a really cool thing about it is that this whole drone is biodegradable, so technically it's edible. Or at least like the vast majority of this drone is edible. And the idea is that there's gonna be like a big plane that has a bunch of them inside of it, and they'll fly over an area where they could never get stuff to, and then they'll just drop these drones out of the back of that plane, and they'll just glide down or just fly down to where they need to be to be able to give people the food that they need, whether that be oil, have oil and water in it to balance it, and then a bunch of food. And they even have bigger versions of it, and they cost up as little, like a little bit around $100. They're very cheap, well-designed, super easy things, and this actually might be the best example of drones helping people that I've been able to find thus far, and you know I look. All right, coming in at number 4, a one-handed drone remote controller. I've never quite had a desire for this because when I'm flying a drone, then obviously I'm giving it my full attention, and that requires both of my hands to fly independently, blah, blah, blah. But there might be some form of application for it. And in South Korea, they're definitely gonna figure that out. They've figured out a remote controller called a shift controller that allows you to fly with one hand. And the way that it works is that it's like you hold it, as you can see, it's like a little handle that you hold, and then your thumb's on top of it. And the way that you move your thumb is the same way you do directionally. You move it forward, it goes back, forward, forward. But if you lift your thumb, then it goes up. And if you push down on it, it goes down. So your one thumb is using all the vectors that the drone can do, pretty much. I don't understand quite how it's gonna pivot in space yet, but I understand how it moves forward, back, left, right, and rises and falls. Either way, it's only going to be about $150 for this, and it's supposed to be shipping to America in early 2017. I might even maybe get one of these to play with if it works with DJI drones, because that's what I fly. Really interesting stuff. Like, I don't know why I would want one, but it seems like a challenge to be able to learn how to fly one of these. But yeah, it's really cool. Like, it's like a thumb ring that goes over your thumb, and you can control drones with one hand. Try it out. Coming in at last but not least, Unique Breeze, which is a very small drone, like their most economic drone that they have released, is just coming out with a first-person view set for it, so like a package that goes with it. Now, the Breeze is already marketed as a drone that's really easy to fly, that's meant to be flown with your phone. Now they're saying, okay, now we're going to put out a remote controller that comes with it that also gives you first-person view, looking into the cockpit of what you're doing. So a good way to learn how to do first-person view flying, and just play around and have fun, because the Breeze is really reasonably priced drone. It really is. And this whole package is only going to cost $70. So $400 for the drone, $70 for this, and you're getting a drone that can do a lot of things that you can fly with your phone, fly with the remote controller, and fly first-person view. Seems really interesting, and you know, I may even want to get my hands on it. Check it out. Droners, thank you for enjoying this 2017 almost version of Droner News. We are really happy you're here, and if you want to be here more, there's more Droner News right up here. Or if you want to see us playing with other drones and doing other cool drone stuff, you can click right about there, because that's where we do it. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe so we can keep doing what we're doing. Really appreciate that. And as always, stay fly.